Seeing the three generations of Deetz women, there's a lot going on.
Winona and I were both, oh, what's it gonna look like? What's it gonna feel like?
For me, it was strangely emotional seeing them together again.
It's like a dream come true. I'm working with all of these people that I've respected and admired and looked up to for years.
That's what I loved about it. It's like, what happened to these people? For me, it needed to be like all this time later to really resonate.
The core of the script is about family. It's about three generations of women coming together.
Here we go.
Miles and I both have 2 daughters each and always get a front row seat to the mother-daughter relationship. So I think it's something that we kind of pulled from our own experience.
There's that dynamic that's quite common, the differences between parents and children, mothers and daughters. You know, it's interesting.
In the first movie, Lydia and Delia couldn't stand each other. It was like the classic stepmother-stepdaughter relationship. And in this movie, as the years have gone by, I think they've really come to rely on each other.
They pretend they sort of tolerate each other, but they still have the similar dynamic that they had in the first.
They definitely have a closer bond than I think either of them would admit.
Well, from my point of view, Delia is a sensitive, wonderful artist who loves and misses her husband. And 35 years later, Delia and Lydia finally get along.
It just felt like a very real relationship to me.
You weren't very nice. No, you barely acknowledged my existence. But we've done all right, haven't we?
Turns out she's a loving wife, whether you thought so or not from the original. I think she's softened, and she's definitely aged 35 years, thank you. That's scary.
It's hard to act as if she's getting on your nerves somehow. I don't think anyone can make me laugh harder than Catherine O'Hara. Everything that she does is so brilliant.
Exactly. And it was good. So don't back up too far.
The Lydia character in particular has evolved. I think she's someone who begins the movie broken and at a crisis point in her life, and through the course of the movie finds some comfort and ease.
Lydia, for me, was why I got back into it. What happened to her? Where did you go right? Where did you go wrong? What happens in life as you get older? All that sort of thing. So that was the thing that really hooked me emotionally back into it.
And Winona's done a beautiful job being consistent with the Lydia we knew from many, many years ago.
Really like the idea of playing her as sort of broken, and that being haunted for 30 years actually really affects you, and not in a positive way.
She's trying to love her daughter, trying to be a mother to her, which is not something I would have anticipated for Lydia. I think at 15, I kind of saw her being somewhat of a happy spinster.
That teenage anger has kind of softened, and once Lydia became a mother, you have a different perspective on these things.
I think she has a lot of empathy for Delia now because of her having a daughter and knowing now what it feels like.
And now,
I think it's karma for Lydia to deal with Astrid the way I had to deal with Lydia.
Astrid!
Let her be. She hates me.
I think for us, the emotional heart of the movie was Lydia and Astrid, and that's sort of the emotional spine of the movie.
I think there's just a lot of teen angst that's happening.
Then obviously over the course of the movie, Astrid comes to understand her mother and what her mother's ability is. And there's a family reconnection so that by the end of the movie, their bond is very strong.
Jenna becoming Astrid was a conversation Tim and I had a couple weeks before Wednesday came out. We were talking about Astrid character, and we said it would be really great to have Jenna play the role. So he and Jenna had a meeting, and he asked her to read the script, and if she felt like there was a role in there for her, he would be delighted to have her in the project.
I didn't want to feel like I was trying to do an impression, because I think people hear Lydia Deetz's teenage daughter and think that it's going to be the same person, and they're actually very different.
She's not Lydia. Jenna really created her own very unique character. I felt like I was seeing a younger version of myself, only 100 times cooler.
Jenna, man, she just got the tone. She didn't try to do something different or go off in a direction that didn't fit.
It's a very crucial role because it's like kind of commenting on the whole thing as well. So Jenna really brings a gravity to it and fits right in and adds more to it, you know, which is extremely important.
She's the new eyes in the movie. She's the one who can kind of comment on the afterlife when she finally goes in. She can comment on her mother, on how crazy all of this is.
She's exactly who you would expect the child of Lydia Deetz to be.
She represents another generation, which I felt just beautiful.
So I think that's the journey that the audience takes seeing this mother and daughter come together. And that was really special for us as writers and as fathers. And I think that's something that's very special about the movie and makes it feel a bit different from the first.
People already know you'd rather spend more time with ghosts than your own daughter. Astrid is typical teen, hates her parent. You know you don't have to do this, right? Which is so strange because obviously Lydia is the coolest woman on the planet. Winona, I've been a fan of for a very long time. She's such a really, really good person. She's so giving and so vulnerable. I feel like I've learned so much from her. Snakes.
Actually, asps.
And then Delia and Astrid have a weird kind of friendship.
I think Delia sees Astrid as a fresh new Lydia, you know, just kind of dry and dark and, you know, looking around like the world isn't near as cool as she is.
They're very like-minded, I think. They have the same sense of humor. I think they both can be dramatic about certain things or just unlikable in a really charming way.
I didn't even think you were going to be in this, did you?
No.
Jen and I found fun ways to connect. She's great. I mean, obviously a great actress, but also game to try anything.
Is this a common trick of yours? Why should you do this?
I've always loved Catherine. I was so excited to join the project, especially knowing that she was going to be involved. And I really think that on screen, she helps pull everyone together. I'm just so impressed and amazed by her.
The three of them, the trifecta, is really great to watch.
It's like people playing instruments together. You kind of hear them.
That's just lovely to know that you're part of this great creation.
I find myself already feeling nostalgic for the experience and just really, really grateful it's happened.
It was the most incredible time I've ever had. It was really special.